Hello and welcome to part 2 of building a chicken coop / run video. I am going to introduce you to my chickens. We have here Noodles, Pearly May, Cheeseburger, and Karen Francis Connolly, better known as KFC. This is our ramp, roosting poles, and our sliding door. Our chickens seem to like this very much, and this is Karen, seal of approval.
They seem to be pretty happy, Kieran. There you go.
And here's my brother again. He's going to help me out. I seem to be useless without him. So again, thank you, bro, for all your help. The first thing we're going to do is install the chicken run fence around the structure. The walls, the door, all around it. We're unpacking this fence and we proceed to cut it. We're using metal clippers, and I wish we had better tools to do this, but this is what we have and we have to work with it. Once we have this cut, we're going to proceed and install it over the chicken run door, and we're going to use a staple gun to make sure that it is in place. And after this fence is installed over the door, for some reason my shirt come off, and this is a very bad decision because this metal fence will scratch me all over my body. And as my brother keeps working on this door, I'm going to go and measure the walls of this chicken run so I can go and cut the metal fence that will go in that section. My brother finishes this door. Good job, bro. He closes the door. It seems to be working right. And we proceed to keep cutting more of this metal fence. And as I'm done cutting this side of the fence for the chicken run wall, I bring it back to install it and try to not scratch my body, but it is too late for that. I am making sure that the fence is straight so we can then staple it. I make sure to use a lot of staples in this fence so it doesn't come off and stays in place. My brother then will go and install the fence on the other side of the wall. Later, I install the fence that goes on the back walls of the chicken run. And finally, after all of this is done, I install a handle for the door. The next step is to install the roofing paper. I have to make sure that each sheet of paper is installed straight. I have to then nail this paper to the roof. I go all the way to the end and then I cut the paper flush with the roof edge. Now it is time to install the second roll of roofing paper. This can overlap with the first roll, and I have to nail it all the way to the end. And yes, I see that part that is broken, don't worry. I'm going to address your OCD in just a second. So as I keep nailing all of this all the way to the very end, I have to do the same procedure and then cut the paper at the very end flush with the roof. I also have to make sure to cut the paper flush with the roof on the front part of the chicken run. And here it is. OCD has been addressed. You're welcome. Alright, so the next step will be to install the drip edge. I'm going to put this piece on the roof and then nail it to the wood. I'm going to go all over this front piece, and later I'm going to do the same thing on the side of the roof. Here I'm going to install the corner piece at the top part, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom part. After this, I am going to cut starter shingle strips, and for this I am going to use normal shingles. I am going to cut them in half and use the front part as starter shingles. Next, I bring the starter shingles strips up and I install them on the roof by nailing them. They have to overhang a little bit over the drip edge. I nail them all the way to the end. And it seems to be my lucky day. I almost destroyed my thumb.
Pause.
I'm gonna stop what I'm doing for a second. I'm gonna get super glue, a band-aid, and I'll get back to work.
Alright, back to work.
Alright, so after installing the starter shingles, I installed the regular shingles and I nailed them all the way to the end. I have to do this until I cover the whole roof area. You gotta make sure that the shingles overlap so you have good drainage of the water and the moisture that you will have on top of your roof. Alright, so after I installed all the rows of shingles, I get to the very end and I have to install now the ridge cap. What I'm gonna do for this is cut regular shingles and nail them one over the other until the very end. And after installing all the shingles, I bring out my cutter and I cut all the shingles that are hanging over the drip edge. I make sure to go all the way to the end. Lastly, I make sure to use tar to have the shingles stay in place whether there's wind or severe weather. The next step will be to build the chicken ramp that will go inside the chicken coop. Right here I'm cutting the steps. Next, I bring the piece that I'm going to use as the chicken ramp and I drill the steps into the chicken ramp. Alright, this is a finalized chicken ramp. Let's hope that these chickens do not weigh more than 200 pounds. If not, this ramp will not hold. Next, I'm going to construct the nesting boxes for the chickens. For this particular construction, I am going to make sure that each nesting box has at least 12 inches of width, depth, and height. And this is the final result. Now let me show you how these things look from the inside of the chicken coop. Finally, I'm going to install an anti-predator fence. I'm going to dig a few inches underground and I am going to install a fence that will go straight from the chicken run to the landscaping rocks where I'm standing. Here I'm cutting the fence. Once the fence is cut, I proceed and fold it so I can staple it to the chicken run. And as soon as the fence is installed all over the perimeter, I am going to put dirt on top of it to cover it, and also some rocks that you will see later. And here it is, our chicken coop and chicken run has been finalized. If you enter, you can see our chickens, our roosting poles, our ramp, our food, our water, our nesting boxes. We have our heating lamps, and finally we have our chickens. They seem to enjoy it. have a good view of the outside. Let's check the chicken run. Here we have the bedding, some food, water, a bucket, a rake. We have the hanging lights. And overall, I think this is a good space for our chickens. On a last note, let me show you how this thing looks at night. It looks like these chickens are having a rave inside of this coop, and overall, I am very happy with this construction. Finally, thank you all for joining me in this journey of building this chicken coop / run. I hope that you guys learned something, and I will see you all next time. And that's everything for today at Moucomics. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content. If you have suggestions, don't forget to write them down in the comment section below. Thank you, and until next time.